I'm 100% leukemic. So I got told I got blood cancer, and from there, it was the battle of staying alive. Yeah, they told me I've only got 48 hours to 2 weeks if I don't take treatment. So I had to take treatment straight away. And yeah, I went into a coma for 31 days. And I won't get into the nitty gritty of critical care, but I was in critical care for about just over 3 months. I had to learn how to walk again, learn how to use my arms again.
What if I told you that the same mindset that builds championship teams also builds an extraordinary life? The same discipline that drives elite performance to greatness is the discipline that unlocks a longer, stronger, and more resilient future. This is where peak health meets peak performance, where we explore the science of longevity and the mindset of greatness. Because your legacy isn't just what you leave behind, it's what you show up with every single day. This is the Legacy and Longevity Podcast. I'm Zach Dancel, your host. Welcome back to the Legacy and Longevity Podcast. Today's episode is one that you're going to feel in your chest. My guest is a young entrepreneur, just 30 years old, who built businesses, chased dreams, and then out of nowhere was told that he only had 2 to 14 days to live. Most people never hear these words, and even fewer come back from it. He fought, he chose to live. He went through chemo, radiation, just the uncertainty, not once, but twice. He didn't just survive cancer. He rebuilt his life with a completely new level of purpose and discipline and appreciation for what truly matters. So today we're going to dive deep into the mindset of what it takes to face death, the support system that carried him through it, and the nutrition, the lifestyle, and recovery strategies that help rebuild his strength, not just physically, but mentally. This conversation isn't just about cancer, right? It's about clarity. It's about having the courage, and it's about that legacy. So I want to welcome MOONII to the podcast.
Thank you very much, Zach. That was an amazing introduction. Thank you. And I'm here. And hit me with what you got.
No, I appreciate you taking the time to come on to the show and share your story, right? I built this platform, not just to bring experts in their space and in their field, but, real life people who battled, adversity, who faced obstacles that, are just unthinkable sometimes until it actually happens. But before we really dive deep into, the nitty gritty, I just want to give you the space to kind of introduce yourself, tell the viewers and listeners who you are, your background, where you're from, and a little bit about you.
Okay. So my name is MOONII. I was born and bred in Stoke-on-Trent. For people who don't know where that is, it's near Manchester and Birmingham. I'm in between both. And so started off, if I go back to the start, went through the school system, went to university, graduated in law and business. And then from there, was working 9 to 5s, working in the evening in the restaurants with my family's businesses, so my uncle's restaurants. And then, from there, when COVID hit, lost all my jobs. So I started doing Amazon and stuff. But I decided that I don't want to work for anyone else no more. I want to dive deep and start opening my own business where I run it. I run my own team. And if it wasn't for my team, I wouldn't be who I am today. So shout out to my team. And also from there, I opened one business, great success. It was a catering business, feeding refugees and asylum seekers. And went from that to opening a restaurant. From there, business was very good. I had a different type of restaurant, more vegan associated. And I also bought a takeaway as well. So I had 3 food operations going on throughout the day. And life was hectic, 1,000 miles an hour. And from there, I won, as my business was literally profit from day one. And literally before I fell ill, won a lot of awards. The business was crazy, feeding 10,000 people a day. So I won plenty of awards. But these things that I didn't expect, they came very quick. This all happened very quick. And then in my second year, business was doing amazing. My older brother was in Dubai, so put a few investments into Dubai, and yeah, he's running the business there. He's running the ship there, and yeah, here I am now in 2022. Unfortunately, December, Christmas Eve, I went into hospital with I lost sight of my right eye to begin with, so I knew I was in a serious condition. Went into hospital, and then I find out I'm 100% leukemic. So I got told I got blood cancer, and from there it was the battle of staying alive. Yeah, they told me I've only got 48 hours to 2 weeks if I don't take treatment. So I had to take treatment straight away, and yeah, I went into a coma for 31 days, and I won't get into the nitty gritty of critical care, but I was in critical care for about just over 3 months. I had to learn how to walk again, learn how to use my arms again, learn how to talk again because I had a tracheostomy attached to me to a life machine, support machine. Um, but yeah, I've managed to battle through that. Unfortunately, I did beat cancer in September, but I relapsed in December 2023. And from there, I was still running my businesses for that whole entire year of me falling ill. So my businesses were still running. Unfortunately, the catering, as I was not present, I had to shut the business down. And when I did relapse, I had to sell my restaurants and takeaways. So literally, I was back to square one. Um, but I wasn't back to square one. I was still battling cancer. My health came first. So I decided the smart move was to concentrate on my health and sell my businesses. I had to sell my businesses at a loss, but I'm reaping rewards from it now. I would love to have my restaurant now. My takeaways, I had fresh food every day. I was eating good, but unfortunately, cancer came, and then in 2024, I let my sister save my life. So she was a match, and we went with a bone marrow transplant. Because this is the second time I got cancer, and yeah, it was a success. I've been in remission for about almost 19, 20 months now. So now what I do is I'm ambassador to 6 charities, loads of different charities, especially cancer related and mental health related. Because I did spend like almost 580 days, 500 in Stoke and 80 days in Birmingham because Birmingham did the transplant. So yeah, I spent a lot of time in hospital. So I do a lot of work with mental health charities. I also started my own charity with my best friend because his daughter got diagnosed 6 months after me with a liver cancer, very rare liver cancer. So we named the charity in her name, Jazzy's Gestures. I'm also me and my brother. We have a football club. I'm CEO, he's COO, and yeah. So from there, we had a rivalry because we're only a year apart, and yeah, it just ended up being his 11 against my 11. And then it turned into football on Trent. But then I felt ill. So we couldn't push it. But my brother continued the social media. Social media was doing very well. And then once I come out of hospital, I was on my recovery, I decided to pick up the reins again and actually run with it. So now we're FA registered. We're in the lowest league. We're in the Sunday leagues. And yeah, we got brilliant sponsors all over Stoke-on-Trent and Manchester, Birmingham, London, with all my business links. And yeah, my brother's smashing it with the team. We're fourth in the league at the moment, and we're going for promotion in our first season. So yeah, that's what I do now. And currently, I can't work, so I can't work because I'm still in recovery. But yeah, I just love my life now. Life is a blessing. I wake up every day. I pray every day. And yeah, I couldn't ask for anything more. I got a second chance in life. So I'm taking it seriously. My diet's changed, everything's changed. And yeah, I'm here to talk about it and share it with the world.
No, I mean, I think it's such a powerful story of what have been able to overcome, right? The mental fortitude that you've had to had. You know, I mention it all the time. You know, the famous quote. You know, you can have 1,000 problems until you have a health problem, and then you just have one problem, and everything else becomes noise, right? You can chase the money, you can chase success, goals, but when you get hit with such powerful news that you know this is life or death, right? Like it kind of changes everything and puts everything
Changed
into
the mindset of
perspective.
everything, yeah.
Um, right. So I'm super excited to dive in and kind of just talk through that, how you overcame it, some of the tools that you learned, throughout your journey. So take me back to the moment when you were first told that you had 2 to 14 days to live. Right? What was the first thought that ran through your mind?
So I knew it was serious because the gentleman who was looking after me. So usually when you go A&E, you have to wait like 4 to 10 hours. But once they saw me, I was given a letter by my GP because I went to my GP first. So the gentleman saw me straight away because I was really unwell. I was very pale. Um, he kept on coming back for blood tests, so I knew something was up. But yeah, then he come back and said, you haven't got long left, and you really need to take this treatment. I'm not going to advise you any other way." But he spoke to me, then another nurse spoke to me, then another nurse, and it's so many different people. And then I got moved around, and then came the devastating news of, yes, you have blood cancer. You need to speak to your family. I couldn't build up the courage to tell my family because no one in my family has ever had cancer. Um, so this is what at first, and yeah, I couldn't tell my family. I just signed all the documents and I said yes, I'll go ahead with treatment. Can you notify my family? And they said they will. And then because I was at a critical stage, is literally I was 100% leukemic, so they had to act fast. So they were about to take me to critical care and induce me into a coma. But my organs were failing, so I had to go urgently. And then next thing you know, my family are coming in one by one. It's like they're saying goodbye. Do you know what I mean? And I'm there sitting there saying,
Yeah.
I'm gonna be okay. This is my first time in the hospital. I never used to go to the doctors or hospital. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, one by one, everyone came and everyone was crying. And I'm thinking, what the hell is going on? Because the doctors haven't told me. They told my parents, and my sister is my next of kin, and told my sister. Um, and then my sister was my main carer. She was there every day through critical care and my coma. So shout out to my older sister. But yeah, that's how they told me. It was devastating news. Hard, it's news that I could never, I couldn't process it. Like I was a high performing individual where I'm running multiple businesses. I'm still going gym 6 days a week. I go swimming 3 days a week, and I go play football 3, 4 times a week. So that was my lifestyle. I had a very healthy lifestyle with the food, fresh food from the restaurant, fresh food from my mother every day. And then all of a sudden you get told you are 100% leukemic. And I was literally in Dubai. So I was in Dubai. I flew back on an emergency flight because I had food poisoning, but I didn't know I had cancer. Um, so yeah, it was a crazy 1 month. So November, December was a crazy month of 2022, and still remember how the gentleman, the nurse who was there, told me. He grabbed hold of my hands with both hands, saying, first thing he said, the news I'm going to tell you will sound devastating. And I was like, oh no, what the hell has happened? Um, and then yeah, he told me, and then yeah, that's exactly what happened. And then I went straight into a coma. I don't remember anything else. All I do remember is I had so many lines attached to me, and so many cannulas. They put a line in straight away. I don't know how. I was asleep, and then when they woke me up, books my family were coming. I had 6 bags of blood around me, so I had three this side, three this side, because my blood was not working at all. It's like my red and white blood cells swapped. So I give you like a little. So you're meant to have 10 white blood cells, about 150 to 200 white blood cells, but they swapped. So I had 204 white blood cells and 33 red blood cells. So yeah, it was really bad. But the thing is, I went into a coma, and yeah, that's another story. That would be a very long story, but yeah, that's exactly what they said. And yeah, when I first got told you got cancer, you got this many days to live, I was in shock. I was on Google searching up what acute myeloid leukemia is, what are the chances of surviving, and yeah, it didn't look good. It's like 11%. Um,
No, I mean it. So you talk about being in shock, right? Talk to us a little bit more about like how that shock shifted your identity, right? Did it slow things down? Did it speed things up? Like, what did that, fear and that shock feel like in that moment?
In that moment, I was so weak and I was so unwell. Like I was really unwell. I've never been this unwell. Usually you get up after 7 days, a week or a couple of days, you're back on your feet. I didn't get back on my feet until like I didn't even get back on my feet. I went straight to hospital. Um, but at the time, it was too much to take in, and I was in and out of sleep. They kept on putting me in and out of sleep, so I didn't know what to think. And especially when my family came in and they were all crying, and I just didn't know what to think. But I was being so positive. I was trying to be as positive as I could because I know negativity eats away at your brain. So, and I've always
Yeah.
been that positive guy. I've always been that outgoing guy, the always on my feet. Do you know what I mean? Never stop moving. So yeah, so when I get told that you might not live, it's like, oh wow, how has it come to this? I got 48 hours to live. But yeah, in my head, I was not going to lose this battle, even though I was in and out of sleep, and I stayed positive. Like I wasn't crying, but my family was. Do you know what I mean? So um, I can't really put it in words. It's like I was speechless, and I'm not a guy to be speechless.
Yeah. No, I mean, as someone who's deep into the functional medicine, space, even before I got into the space, one thing that I learned very, very young is just the mind is one of the strongest predictors of outcomes, right? Whether it be health, whether it be success, whether it be in business, sports, relationships, whatever it is, right? That belief and that clarity um, of I can do this or I can accomplish this. I'd love for you to talk a little bit more about that mindset that you did have, and how that became a part of your treatment.
So my mindset before, I was very confident. I was like a bodybuilder, strength trainer. I was lifting ridiculous amount of weights, like 3 times my body weight. I could have competed in like strength competitions because I was that strong. I was incredibly strong. I used to love my swimming, and my outlook on life was I just started a business and the business was making profit from day one. So I knew I took all my skills throughout the years to open these businesses and it's all worked. So I was very confident. I was flying out everywhere. I was going to Dubai 3, 4 times a year. I was even though even though my businesses were running, I had business partners that I took on and they ran the business for me, but I was still running the business through my phone. So if there's any hiccups, or if I needed to hire someone, so I had about 100 people working for me at the time. So I had a lot of employees. So I still managed everything through 2 phones. So one was for business and one was for personal, but both ended up becoming business. Um, but yeah, so that was my life beforehand. I was that confident guy, gym going, I was at football. I was highly competitive. Oh, I'm crazy football fan, Liverpool fan through and through. I'll never walk alone. So yeah, um, and then after, when I got diagnosed, I lost all confidence. Imagine I had really long hair. I used to put in a bun. I had a beard and everything, and then all of a sudden, all of that falls out because I'm under serious cancer treatment. So I was on infusions for 23 hours of the day for a period of 10 to 14 days. So I was always attached to the machines, feeding me chemotherapy, feeding me food. I had an NG tube. So I lost all confidence. So I went from 86 kg to 42 kg. That is a loss. That is a loss of almost 60 to 70%. It's crazy. Especially when they send me a pack of all my care in the hospital. I was just reading through some of the stuff and it's scary stuff. It's like a horror movie. But I lost all my confidence. Um, I'm seriously weak, and I still am seriously weak. And my joints are very weak. I'm very weak in myself. But the thing is, I'm training all back. So I went through rehab in hospital, in critical care, where I had to learn how to walk again. Until I learned how to walk again, I could make. So imagine I'm this confident guy who can run miles, who's massive, and doing everything in life, and then all of a sudden, a month later, I'm wasting away. You can see bones. You can literally see my cheekbones, my ribs. You can see my leg, but so I had serious amount of meat on my leg. All of it's gone. All of it's gone. So I've lost everything. I'm back to square one. Literally a second chance. And now, obviously, I put on my weight again. My hair's grown back. I've got my hair back. I've got my confidence back. And this was all written for me. This happened for a reason. This wasn't written for you, Zach, or anyone watching. This was written for me. And I've embraced it. The mental battle, I won the mental battle from the start. I did not give up. So, but the thing is, I did lose all my confidence. That's one thing for sure. Especially when I came home and I can't even walk up the stairs without my mum helping me. The same stairs that I used to run up and down, like with no hesitation, not even thinking about it. Um, so yeah, you take these little things for granted, especially myself. Like now I need help bathing. It's like my mum's washing me again, like I'm a baby. So yeah, I think that answer itself. Losing all my confidence from such a confident man, yeah, it hit me hard.
How would you say that you gained it back?
I gained it back through because I wanted to gain it back. So I was being proactive. The doctors told me bed rest. I was trying to do press ups. I was trying to gain all my. So I used to do about 150 to 200 press ups in one go. I could because I was doing press ups since I was young. That's how I got so I had such a big chest. But yeah, I started doing press ups. I couldn't do one, but I built myself up and got back to 20 in one go. But that did take a solid 6 months to do for me to go back to doing 20 press ups. But um, yeah, it's crazy. Like I went from such a strong man to the weakest I've ever been, like a brand new baby. Yeah, so yeah, it's hard to put everything into words, you know.
Yeah, no, I completely understand. I mean, it's you know, you are faced something that hopefully most people never have to face.
I don't want no one to face what I've been through. I'm lucky. I'm so lucky I had that meat, that muscle, everything happened for a reason, you see. So I had to go gym. I had to have all that fat on me, or I wouldn't have survived. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah, I mean the health state that you're in before then going to the gym, right? The a lot of people miss the importance of having that lean muscle mass, right? Having that fitness mindset of being prepared for the unexpected and
Of
the
course.
unknown, right? For when you do have to face something like you did, that's life changing. Um, that equips you, for those moments, right? So, one of my trainers growing up, he always used to say, "Stay ready, so you don't have to get ready," right?
Fuck,
And
yeah, that's a
luckily for you,
great
right?
approach.
You did exactly that, right? You had the strength to fight through. So, I applaud you and show you high praise, for what you had to go through. So, you get told this news, right? And you had to make this decision to fight. What made you choose, the aggressive chemo and radiation so quickly? Was there any hesitation or was it just a 0-second decision?
Do you know what it is? I read through everything on the piece of paper, and then I realized I did a few Google searches. They did give me like some time, but they said I haven't got much time. The chemo needs to be made. This was Christmas Eve. So imagine there's not many workers as well at the hospital. So I just decided there and then. I didn't take no advice from anyone. I thought this is my decision. I need to make this. So I literally just signed the documents. I said yes to the chemotherapy. So it was initially just chemotherapy. I didn't expect to go through what I went through. So this journey of mine has been 2.5 years. It's just a blink in my whole lifetime, I would say. But that blink was life changing. So yeah, I just signed the document straight away. I had no
Yeah.
hesitation. After doing a tiny bit of research, I realized I'm in a serious condition. AML, acute myeloid leukemia. is nothing to be messed with. It's a horrendous disease, and I had to go through that. And I went to the cancer center the other day. I always go to the cancer center, drop off chocolates and stuff. But I went to one of the head nurses, and 3 of the last AML patients, they were young, just similar to me, but few of them were old, have passed away, and it was sad to hear that, because I had AML. So yeah, it's been a crazy journey. But yeah, I started the document straight away. I Once I did the research, literally, it took me 5 minutes to make a decision.
Yeah. When you're staring at the possibility of dying in days, right? What became important to you in that moment?
The thing is, I've faced death before, so I thought I'm in the right place. I'm in the hospital. I'm amongst professionals here that will look after me. So I always had that in my head. Okay, they said I got 2 days to 2 weeks to live, but the way out is this document that's telling me that I will have chemotherapy that possibly might save my life, but also I have to go into a coma. So I just went with the doctor's advice. I entrusted a complete stranger, a doctor, but I know his profession is to save people. So this is what they say with your friends as well. Be careful who you trust, but you'll trust someone random or stranger to save your life or fix your car or whatever the scenario might be. So yeah, I've signed and I put my trust into the NHS. So also
Yeah.
the support I had, the prayers that I got. Also in our religion, a lot of animals got sacrificed on my behalf and fed a lot of people. So and lots went to charity. It's crazy how many people supported me, but I had that support network. Not everyone has that support network, especially when I was on the ward. I was meeting other cancer patients that haven't ever had a visitor, or they get a visitor once every 2 3 weeks, or they haven't got family no more. And some other ones that said, "Oh, my whole family have been through cancer. It's a generational thing." I'm so happy. I'm the only one in my family that went through it, and I'm happy that it was me and not my sister and not my brother and not my mother or my niece. I'm happy it was me because I was the strongest in my family. I was the breadwinner, so I was paying bills. And all of a sudden, I'm in a hospital there. So to be honest, I wouldn't change it for the world. This was meant for me. You know what I mean? This battle,
Yeah.
this war that I went on twice, was meant for me.
Yeah. I mean, what were some of the darkest moments, the moments where you didn't know if you had anything left, and what would you say pulled you out of them?
Yeah, the darkest moment is being told you got cancer, and then the other darkest moment was um, them saying I've relapsed and my cancer's come back. That's when I had like 2 hours of where I thought, yeah, this is it. I'm gonna die. I need to face it now because it's come back. This is AML we're talking about, acute myeloid leukemia. It's nothing to be messed up, and it's come back. But the consultants that I met in Birmingham, they had a plan, and Stoke. So shout out to the doctors, consultants, the nurses, the cleaners, everyone that was part of my journey. They all deserve a shout out. But yeah, they had a plan to do a bone marrow transplant, but they needed a match. So I have 10 siblings, which is honestly the greatest thing. I would not change that for the world. All of them got tested, even my brother in Dubai. And we got 3 matches in total. My brother was a half match, and 2 of my sisters. So they went with the healthiest option, like 99% match. So we went through that, and then I had to go through severe chemo radiation. I turned in. Do you know who the Michelin Man is?
Yeah.
I turned into the Michelin Man. I was attached to morphine. The radiation, you think it's fine. It hits you, and you're like, "Oh, this is way better than chemo." Oh, a week later, I swelled up. So yeah, went ahead with the bone marrow transplant, and yeah, it saved my life. My sister is my hero. Her name is Paz, and she is my hero. So shouts out to Paz. Anything she wants, she can get. And yeah, so honestly, if it weren't for her, I wouldn't be here. Put it that way.
Before we continue, I want to share something deeply personal. The real reason my family started Nava Health. Over a decade ago, my mom was on her deathbed. Her organs were failing, and the doctors told us there was nothing they could do except keep her comfortable. In that moment, everything changed. We realized traditional medicine had limits, especially when it came to proactive and preventative root cause medicine built for long term health span and lifespan. At Nava Health, we take a data driven precision approach to longevity. We test over 90 biomarkers to uncover exactly what's happening inside your body, and we build a personalized plan designed around your unique biology. Because fatigue, brain fog, weight gain, they're not random, they're signals. And when you listen, your body can heal. This is functional longevity medicine done right, comprehensive, proactive, and built to help you feel and perform your best at any age. Go to navacenter.com and take control of your health today. Now back to the show. Something that I think people severely underestimate is just like how much our environment can influence us in healing and in life. And, to really realize that support is medicine, right? Community is medicine, right? It's not just about the doctors. It's just not about, the treatments or the medications, right? But that sense of community, right? That support that you get, that is also medicine, right? One of the biggest predictors for longevity, right, is that sense of purpose and that belonging to a community. So I think, that's one thing that you keep mentioning, your support system, right? Your family, your sister, um, just how they were able to help you through this journey.
Not even that, my friends, my close friends, I haven't mentioned them. They came through, they helped me out whenever I needed it. Honestly, I had a great support network, but not everyone has that.
Yeah. Yeah, no. So let's transition into, during treatment, the nutrition and the strength, right? So let's talk about something, every patient struggles with, eating during
Well,
treatment. What were the foods that should be prioritized to maintain your strength and weight as you're going through as you're going through such a treatment, right? Like how did you approach food? What helped you keep those calories and that strength up?
so with my treatment and regime, it was really, really bad. So I was once I started chemo, I don't think I ate properly for about 2 years. So I had an NG tube. I don't know if people know what NG tube is, but I'll give you a quick. So you have a tube that goes through your nose, and it feeds. It goes all the way up to about your chest here, and it feeds you into your belly. It's like protein, all your vitamins. So I was on that for about, I'd say, a solid 1 year, but I had to be because I couldn't eat food. Um, I also had this hole in my neck that was healing as well, so I had to be fed through a tube, through coma. So it started off through the coma and through critical care, and it continued. I had a dietitian. I couldn't eat solid foods, so for about a year, I didn't eat no solid foods. It's crazy because I was eating 4 or 5 times, 6 times a day prior to the diagnosis. So yeah, I don't think through treatment I had a full meal. So I say 2 years, I didn't have a full meal. I couldn't taste. That's one thing that chemotherapy does. Your taste buds, everything tastes like iron, like metal. Nothing tastes nice. So but one thing I did do once all of this actually actually started, I gained good news of, oh, your bone marrow transplant has been a success, and they put me on steroids and stuff, nasty stuff. My face swelled up, I swelled up, I went fat, but I was eating a lot more because of the steroids. It's natural steroids, but it's still a steroid. I'm on immunosuppression still. So what immunosuppression does, it suppresses my immune system because my sister's immune system is making itself at home. So I've got baby blood now. So my taste buds have been changing. My whole mouth inflamed through graft versus host disease. So my sister is the graft, I am the host. So it started attacking my skin, my mouth, my lungs, which is a good sign. That means my sister's blood is working. So then I had to go on a whole new treatment regime of that. So I had two diseases now, because my sister's blood was attacking me. We wouldn't find out until 3 months later, so I have to have a bone marrow transplant to find out. But my actual taste buds, I didn't have a full meal for 2 years. Only recently, I'd say from February, March. So we're talking 10, 11 months, 10 months post transplant is where I got my taste buds back. And when I got my taste buds back, I started eating again. And because I was on steroids, I started eating a large amount of food. I went fat very quick. Like I went huge. Like so, I was unrecognizable. I've gone from looking like I was golden from Dubai, and then I've changed like over 5 times. Like my hair's gone. That's one. With the actual, when I was bald, I was just pure white because of the
Yeah.
chemotherapy, and now I've gone humongous. So it's like a roller coaster of a journey. But now I'm eating fantastic. I'm off steroids. I'm still on immunosuppression because my sister's blood still needs time to make itself at home. But touch wood, there's no wood next to me. I'll touch my head. I haven't fallen ill since my transplant, which is absolutely amazing. Because after each chemo, I had sepsis. I had sepsis a total of 7 times, neutropenic sepsis.
Wow.
That's at 60% chance of dying. So it's crazy. And after this transplant, the steroids, everything, it's helped. The graft versus that's even helped. And now I'm eating 3 meals a day. I'm having my breakfast, I'm having my lunch, and I'm having my dinner. Before diagnosis, I was eating 5, 6 times, but I was snacking a lot. So I'd finish a pack of chocolate digestives when I was playing Call of Duty at night when I was winding down from all the work. That was my escape, playing Call of Duty, because that's one thing I did as a kid. So yeah, my actual food and my intake is a lot better now, but during treatment, it was horrendous. I can't give any advice out because my actual experience through this was horrendous. I was being fed through tube, but I've changed my diet. So if I speak about my diet now, I've cut out sugar.
Yeah, let's talk about your diet, life after treatment, right?
Life
Rebuilding
after
your
treatment,
body
yeah.
and your identity. What were the foods that helped your body recover after treatment?
After treatment, I still couldn't eat, so I was still on Ensures. So I was on hospital um, protein shakes. So I was having them 3 times a day, and that was for a period of 6 months because I had no taste. I had no taste. So whatever I tasted, tasted like metal. But I did a lot of research when I was in hospital, and I knew what I was going to change. First, I changed my water. I don't have tap water no more. I try to avoid bottled water. I try to take my bottle water, my glass bottle. So I go with glass bottle, nothing plastic, because there's microplastics. What microplastics do later on in life, or your generations below, you pass this on. So that's one thing I've completely changed. So I have filtered water now, and I add it adds magnesium to my water as well. So I get my magnesium intake in the day, and soursop leaves. So I have soursop leaves every day. My mom or me, I will. I've actually got the leaf, so I paid extra for this. I bought it in bulk as well, so it lasts me a couple of years. So you put it in a mug, hot water, let it all seep out. So it should look like a dark brown greenish by the end of the night. When I have my last meal, I will down that, and that will absorb into my body, and that is a cancer. It kills cancer cells basically. There's a lot of research on it through Dr. Sebi. So I follow Dr. Sebi and his son's teachings. And yeah, it's helped, I think. And also cumin seeds. So black seed. I don't know if you know about that. Um, I don't think many people will know about soursop leaves either. So if you are listening, do this advice, do a bit of your research, and then you'll understand what I'm talking about. Black seed oil and black seed, the actual black seed as a seed. I have that every day. That has a lot of curative, but it had loads of properties that for health. So I have that, and also with the water, um, I they say you have 2 liters, but I have 3 liters now a day, and it's helped me so much to cleanse my body. Also with this transplant, I am brand new, so I'm technically a baby. So I turned 2 years old in April. That's when my transplant was. Where I have to watch each.
Yeah. Are there any foods that you now believe can help reduce the risk of recurrence?
Yes. So soursop leaves is definitely number one. Number two is what you drink. And number three, sugar. Sugar is the worst thing you can put in your body. Put it this way. Put it this way. Like if you go back years and years, okay, people didn't have a long life expectancy, but they didn't have sugar. There was no cancer talk, and you all understand why is it back from what I remember, 2005, it was like 1 in 8 people get cancer. Why is it 1 in 2 get cancer? It's because the big companies that put additives in your food, high processed food, high processed corn, all of that, and especially the sugar, because they changed the name. It's not sugar, it's sucralose, or it's another name. It's all sugar, and your body, what cancer cells do, they feed off sugar. So I've cut one thing I used to do, bad habit, even though I was healthy in my head. I thought I was healthy, is energy drinks, toxic for your body. Fizzy drinks. One thing I always had was a fizzy drink with my meal. Now I don't do that. I treat myself to a fizzy drink because I haven't cut out sugar completely. So I have it like once a week or once every 2 weeks, or maybe twice a week if I do go to a restaurant. But I've cut out sugar completely. Now I use Manuka honey. I've replaced my sugar with a health, especially Manuka honey. Any honey is very, very good, especially local honey. If you got like hay fever and stuff, it will help with that. But Manuka honey, it has um it helps the immune system as well develop. So I've been having Manuka honey every day since probably February, and I feel like $1,000,000. So yeah, I've also added like little things here and there with ashwagandha and shilajit for a bit more energy. But yeah, one thing I can't do is walk far distances without because my lungs are brand new. But besides that, my diet now is clean. No, literally 95% sugar being cut out. I was a dessert guy as well, so I used to love my desserts. So yeah, um, I think that's the best advice I could give. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, it's there's no fluff, right? It's not fear mongering, but just truly what sugar does, right? Sugar, it does feed cancer cells, right? It's
it
scientifically
really does.
proven
Yeah, it
that
really does.
that like that cancer cells feed off of sugar, right? It might not cause cancer directly, right? But it creates that condition in that environment where cancer thrives, right? Because when you're when you're high, chronically inflamed, have high insulin, mitochondrial dysfunction, right? That's where sugar accelerates all of those areas, right? And when you're high in insulin, it creates that tumor growth signals. So I mean,
It's not just cancer. It's like all the other diseases, diabetes, heart failure. It all goes back to sugar. And
yeah,
what they do is they won't tell you that this product. They'll tell you how this product tastes good, and in the advertisement. But this is money making for them and the pharmaceutical companies. They love to make money, so they need sick people. So yeah, it's a big game.
yeah. So now you're returning back to life, right? And getting back to business and your purpose. When you came out on the other side, how did cancer reshape the way that you lead and work and build your companies?
One thing I did do, I took a step back. I took a major step back. I thought I don't need to do the running around. I'm capable of doing everything through my phone and relaxing now. Let my team run everything. So my older brother runs everything in Dubai. Um, I lost all my businesses, so I've come out of hospital with all my businesses gone. So I took a step back and I thought I'm not going to rush back. I'd rather get me ready, put my health first, and then start. So it took me a long time to get back to what I want to do. But then I've changed my purpose. So instead of chasing money, I'm starting to generate money for charities. I've made plenty of money. Money comes and goes. I do understand you need money for happiness because you do. That's one thing people in life, you need money because that's what makes the world go round. But I made plenty of money and now I lost all of that. and I'm still doing what I can with these charities. So I've got a whole new purpose in life. I love my life. Life is a blessing. I appreciate everything because once upon a time I couldn't breathe. Well, once upon a time I couldn't walk. Once upon a time I couldn't even pick up my phone, and the phone does not weigh much at all. So yeah, I'll put that the best way I could put it. Um,
Yeah. Well, the lessons for anyone battling cancer today, if someone was listening or someone who is listening was just diagnosed today, what would you tell them?
I'll tell them this was written for you. So first of all, don't start thinking negative. Always think positive. I understand hearing cancer, or they say the C word, is the worst thing to ever hear. But I embraced it. So embrace it and just know that you're going to war and you're going to win. Always put that in your head that I'm strong enough for this. Even if it's a devastating diagnosis, you can still win. Like my diagnosis was what 2 days. So now, one thing I can say is just stay strong. Even if you don't have a support network, there's still people out there that charities. Like Macmillan called me. I didn't expect Macmillan to call me a charity, and a few other charities call me. So there is support out there. You just gotta do a few searches online. So if you do need to speak to someone, there's plenty of charities. Like my charity, come chat to us. I'm part of Caris CIC, which is a mental health charity. I'm an ambassador to them. So if you need to speak to someone, come speak to me. Um, don't hide your emotions away. Talk to someone because the more you overthink, the more you eat your brain, and then you're gonna feel stressed and depressed. So the best thing is talk to someone if you need to talk to someone, and just know that this story was written for you. Embrace it. Don't feel negative about it. Feel positive about it because that's the way I took it, and I won the mental battle. It's all a mental thing, I think. So yeah, because you talk to your head. If anything, you will talk to yourself. If no one's around. So yeah, you don't want to do that. Talk to someone.
No, I mean, I think there's a lot of big points that you hit on that I think are extremely powerful that people really don't think about when it comes to healing, right? But is the power of the mind, the power of positivity,
Of
the
course, yeah.
power of community and your support system. This is where stories save lives. People don't need all the statistics in that moment. What they need is hope. They need strategy, and someone who's been where they are, right? And you're able to spread that message and that word. What as we're starting to wrap up, what would you say the best advice you've ever heard or received?
The best advice that I've ever received is from my big brother. So my big brother is my rock. He's my business partner. He's my brother. He's like a father figure to me. So yeah, I'd say he said, "Don't give up." He just said that. Do not give up, and I didn't give up. And it's I'm talking to him for video call. It's like he's given up, but he's told me not to give up. But he's all the way in Dubai. He doesn't know what to do. He like he's running our businesses, and all of a sudden he gets. I was literally with him a month before, and to see me in that state, and honestly, because we do so much together, he just said, "Don't give up," and I didn't give up, and that sticks with me. And he doesn't know this. I still remember that conversation I had with him. Don't give up, bro. That's what he said. And he said it in a way where he was about to cry. Well, my big brother ain't gonna cry. You know what I mean? He's made of bricks. So yeah.
Yeah.
Um honestly, I didn't think that any 1 minute I was gonna die, but when the chemo and stuff hit me and losing all my hair, I thought, yeah, I'm gonna die. But my brother said, don't give up. And I never did. Never did.
With what you went through, I'm sure you have this new meaning to life. What would you say your purpose is and your ultimate why?
My purpose is honestly, everything's down to family. But my new purpose in life is I don't want to leave a legacy, but I want to leave whoever I meet at least a memory or just helping people. I think that's my new purpose because I'm doing so much charity work. I'm helping people. all over the UK with cancer. I'm a big advocate of giving back now. World is not in a good place. I can tell you that now. There's disease everywhere. There's wars everywhere. There's famine everywhere. At least I'm in a place where I've got a roof over my head. I got food on my plate, and now I got my health in my hands. So and I can do things to change some of that. I want to spark the next. So if a person's going through anything like health related, I want to be the spark that helps them get back. So yeah, I'm here to share my story. I wasn't going to share my story originally, but cure leukemia. So I love cure leukemia. They were the first to approach, and then we went ahead, and then from there my purpose changed. Now I want to help people. So yeah, I think that's the best way to put it. Yeah.
Yeah. What is the biggest problem or issue that you're trying to solve in the world today?
One thing is you're fed a lot of information online, and there's a lot of stuff hidden away. Always question what's not in the box, even question what's out the box. So um, like what I did a lot of research in hospital to find out how my cancer come by. I don't want to mention why, but it's definitely the food I ate, the possible injections I took through like immunizations, and also the water I drank. So that's the best way I could put it. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think, the created this podcast, not just to help give people information, but, you know, give people that hope or that ability to, take a moment and ask questions, right? It is okay to ask questions. It is okay to, first be skeptical
Yeah.
to find the answers or find the solutions. Like, we're not here to give answers. We're here to share information that we believe to be true and to be helpful. um, but don't always just go with the first answer that's given to you, right? Do some research, feel free to ask questions, right? It is not wrong, especially when something that is so uh, related to health, right? You should have the ability and feel free to ask questions, right? Because at the end of the day, this is your health, this is your body, right? You only get one of them, you can't replace it. So it's important to be okay to ask those hard questions, even if it's not some, if it feels like you're questioning a professional like a doctor. It is okay, right? Because
That's a
at the
good
end of
point.
the day, that one person might not have all the answers, right? But there are answers out there, and you should do everything in your power to seek them and to find them. So I think that's a good point that you put out there, right? And I love what you're doing. So one last question before we close it out. I like to ask everybody this question. When it's all said and done, what do you want your legacy to be remembered by?
Okay. My legacy. See, my legacy before cancer was businessman, hard worker, gym goer. I'd say now is I don't want to leave a legacy. I want to leave an impact. That's what I would say, an impact in your life. So, for example, Zach, I met you through Instagram, and now with the podcast, for example, I will meet someone outside. If I'm going to an appointment in a hospital, I will chat to people. Or so, well, if I'm waiting, what's going on with your life, and then I'll see if I can either give them advice or help them out or tell them to come chat to us at the charities. So it's not leaving a legacy, more of how I make someone feel and how I can help them, or if I can't help them, how can we move forward and develop our friendship. So it's not about leaving a legacy, more like how I left a memory with you. So for example, now I met you, Zach. Once I fly out to the States, we're chilling. So you know what I mean. So yeah, I'm definitely going to hit you up. So this has only happened through Instagram. So that's all it takes to connect. So it's not about leaving a legacy, it's about how you impact someone's life.
Yeah. Well, I mean, one, if you're ever in South Florida, definitely hit me up.
Fact, I will.
But I mean, I think what you're saying, right? Leaving that impact, right? That is a part of legacy, right? Creating change, leaving an impact, is just that, right? Because a legacy is far more than just what we're doing on a day-to-day basis. It's what we leave behind. It's the difference that we make. It's the impact and the change that we can create to the people and the people around us. Is truly what, to me, legacy is all about, right? It is impact, right? It is what you're able to do. Well, brother, your story is one of the most powerful examples of resilience and rebirth that I've ever heard.
Oh, thank you. Oh,
You
wow.
remind, yeah, no, you remind people that life isn't guaranteed, right? And that
100%. Yeah.
every day is a choice. It's a choice to fight, a choice to live with purpose, right? And a choice to build uh, a legacy that does outlive you. So I want to say thank you for your honesty, your
Oh,
strength,
thank you, Zach.
and your mission to turn pain into power, right? I think it's super powerful, that you're spreading your word and your experience so that other people going through it can hear that, and hopefully it does give them that sense of hope that they can do it too.
Thank you, Zach. Now, I appreciate you having me on your podcast, and honestly, me to spread this message through your platform. I only can thank you, Zach. And it's like one thing, like Cristiano Ronaldo said: "We're in the present. Past is past. Future we don't know. So live in the present."
Yeah, no, that's powerful. Well, thanks for being on the show, and hopefully, listeners listening to this, it makes a change and an impact in their life, and can take this word today.
Yeah, 100%.
If today's conversation sparked something in you, here's what I want you to do right now. Pick one strategy, one insight, one small action you heard today, and commit to it this week. Excellence isn't built in moments. It's built in the daily decisions that compound over time. Remember, you're not just building a healthier body or a more successful career. You're building a legacy that will outlast you. And that starts with the standards you set today. Thanks for listening to the Legacy and Longevity Podcast. If this episode was valuable, first subscribe so you never miss an episode. Then leave us a review to help more people find these conversations. And finally, share it with someone who you think needs to hear it. Until next Tuesday, keep raising the bar, keep pushing your limits, and keep stacking days. I'm Zach Dancel. Your legacy starts now.